Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Steven Universe review. In this episode, we're taking a look at Season 5, Episode 22, Maid of Honor. And hey, here's another title I like. I'm coming to the conclusion that I like titles with wordplay in them. Because Maid of Honor, as in, Maid of Honor, like a wedding. But then there's also Maid of Honor, as in honor! So yeah. And I actually called this one. Kind of. I said yesterday that I was expecting this episode to be the wedding, and then shit was going to hit the fan at the end, but instead the next episode, I think it's called Reunited, don't at me, is going to be, at least the first half of the episode is going to be the wedding, and then shit's going to hit the fan. But instead, I said yesterday that I wonder if in the next episode she was going to show up. The she I was referring to was Bismuth. And yeah, Bismuth's back. I'm actually, rewatching this, I forgot how much I just loved Bismuth. I mean, don't get me wrong, ever since Bismuth aired, every time I rewatch that episode, I love it more and more. But seeing Bismuth again, it's so great. So let's get into it. It starts off with they're planning a wedding, which, okay, I know I talked about how realistic dialogue, this is not realistic planning a wedding. Planning a wedding is hell. But no, this one, it's all sweet, and Steven, oh my god, he's so adorable. He's so great in this moment. How long have you been planning this? My entire life. Hilarious, funny, endearing. I love it so much. But they're writing up a bunch of wedding invitations, and they only have 10, and hey, Peridot, it's good to see Peridot again after a while. Another character I feel bad for. Even though I hate Lazuli. But they do a wedding rehearsal, and yeah, everything's going fine, but Sapphire does feel bad that there's so many friends from their Crystal Gym days that can't be here. And yeah, no, I do relate to that, honestly. It's a good way to do it, because Steven's writing out name tags, and it's like, no, someone from the good old days, quote-unquote, needs to be here. So she writes Bismuth, and it's like, oh shit. And Steven frees Bismuth from a bubble. And she sees the bubble room, right, with all the corrupted gems, and freaks out, much like Peridot did. And Bismuth believes that Rose bubbled everyone who disagreed with her just to pop Biggs, who... I think I even talked about this at the time, that yeah, this was Biggs, one of the gym monsters Jasper took. And it attacks them, and Bismuth realizes what's going on and destroys Biggs. And Steven fills her in on everything that's happened so far. And I didn't notice this on my first watching. I don't know why, but Bismuth actually has a slightly different design. Much like when Pearl or Amethyst got a redesign, it's mostly the same thing, but it's just slightly different. And yeah, no, it's really nice. I like that every time they reform it. It's not a big change, but it's just a little bit. I wonder if... I'm actually looking through it. Her hair color doesn't change. Because I know that's one of the big complaints with the first Bismuth episode. When I say big, I use giant quotes there. That her hair color changed from scene to scene. But this one actually looks more consistent. Yeah. But yes, so now Bismuth knows everything, and I love the screaming moment. It's a small thing, but it's a great moment for character development. Because yeah, no, sometimes you just gotta scream into the void. Sure. And then Bismuth reveals that she thought all of her problems would just disappear if they shattered a diamond, even though shattering a diamond created even more problems. And of course it was stupid to bring the breaking point to Rose, because she was Pink Diamond. Even though... I still like the idea at the time that if she hadn't done it, Bismuth would have usurped Rose, which I still wholeheartedly believe, even though times have changed. But Steven's like, oh, with you back, we're now going to have the greatest wedding ever. And yeah, okay, that's cool, and Bismuth doesn't even know what a wedding is. Nice. But Bismuth thinks, oh, they're just going to go out and tell them, but Steven's like, no, we got to make it a big surprise. Bismuth doesn't know how she's going to come back, what she's going to say. They make a lot of stupid Bismuth jokes, which... it worked in the first episode, and the show at least acknowledges that these are pretty... I know we don't like to use this word anymore, but cringy. But Steven says it doesn't matter what you say or what you do as long as it's you, right? They still like you. And Steven goes out to give a toast introducing Bismuth, and she doesn't come out. And we see Bismuth's logic because Steven goes and finds her at the forge, and her whole thing is she tried to kill their leader. Why would they trust her, right? Bismuth says that, oh, even though Rose was lying, which, it's weird. In this moment, I actually feel inclined to defend Rose, because even though she was a horrible person, she did a lot of horrible things, and this was her war, I mean, she still technically did the right thing. Her ideology was technically in the right place, even if she did a bunch of horrible things. But Bismuth brings up that Steven is the leader. Steven says, no, Garnet's the leader. But Garnet's fallen apart. This arc has really cemented Steven as the leader. And I didn't even realize it until Bismuth brought it up. I mean, I feel like this entire arc, I've made jokes about Steven falling into his leadership role. I know for sure I did in the Run review, which hasn't even come out yet. But it's really, I've subconsciously noticed it, but yet I didn't actually think about it until they brought it up. That's great storytelling. They're showing without telling, where you're getting the idea without actually fully getting the idea. I mean, thinking about it enough, you probably realize it eventually, but I didn't, at least. And yeah, because Steven inspires them. And Steven's like, oh, who cares if you tried to kill me? You're still you. And this is where Bismuth gets the line about how she's made of the hardest stuff and she has honor. And Bismuth said, oh, it's spoken like a leader. And Steven says, spoken like a friend. Great line, showing how the dynamic with the crystal gems have changed. They show back up at the house, and of course, Pearl, Ruby, and Sapphire are excited to see Bismuth. Again, she's one of the originals, and hey, maybe she's here to stay this time. I am worried she's going to, kick the bucket. Not this season. Not this season. Even though seeing Bismuth here, maybe we're closer to the leaks than we first thought. I'm not going to give anything away. Well, I kind of just did. But maybe the leaks are coming to us faster than we imagined. That's a very distinct possibility at this point. And of course, Peridot asks, who is this? Much like Amethyst did. And then Bismuth made their wedding rings. Which, that's adorable. I love it. I haven't been this excited for an episode in a while. And that's not even, I guess, I know there are some people who like to avoid previews and spoilers and all that jazz, and I completely understand, so I'm going to talk about them, because I've been avoiding it all week. The next episode, Yellow and Blue Diamond are going to show up. It's kind of been hinted in all of the previews, and even if Yellow and Diamond weren't going to show up, the wedding alone has got me interested. I'm sold on the next episode just for the wedding alone. Yellow and Blue Diamond showing up is just a bonus at this point. That's good storytelling. The fact that they can get me excited just for a wedding, and there's this whole bigger, grander story arc thing that I'm just like, yeah, that's a cool bonus, but wedding. I'm genuinely excited. I don't even remember the last time I was this excited for something. Maybe the zoo arc, because I thought season 4's finale was really disappointing. And even though this isn't from what I was told, this isn't season 5's finale, even though it really feels like it. Seriously, this really does feel like it's the season finale. I could be wrong, but it really feels like it. And yeah, that's the episode. It's good. It's so good to see Bismuth again. She's such a great character. I've missed her, and I hope she becomes a mainstay. I'm expecting her maybe to be pushed off to the side and showing up occasionally like Peridot, but who knows? I'm also worried she's going to die, but we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for the final Reunited. Hey, we're finally here. Which my goal is to get it up later tonight. Like the same day this goes up. Hopefully. So probably sometime around midnight Eastern time. What is that? Is that 9 o'clock Pacific time? That's my goal anyways. We'll see. Just to date this video. If you're watching this the day after, it's already up, hopefully. And yeah, until next time, peace.